Hey everybody, what's up y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy Talks here. Let's talk Married at First Sight season 15 episode 9. Are you gaslighting me? Let's do Justin and Alexis. Before we get started, I do want to send a shout out and a thank you to everyone that left a super thanks on the Married at First Sight videos last week. So Eileen Brazil, Greg Rorabow, Lady B 1028, and Kwana Aisha. I know I am butchering your name, Kwana. I know I am, and I apologize. I apologize, but thank you to you for the super thanks. All right, super appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and get into Justin and Alexis because, ooh, I look super cockeyed. Did y'all see that? It must be the glare that I'm seeing. Scared me for a little bit. Okay. Because that threw me off. So we're starting off with this basket from the experts. They sitting at the house hookahing it up. And it was crazy because I watched the video. Never mind, I'm not even gonna get into it. But while that was coming on, I saw a video on the Shade Room on Instagram about hookah. And I was like, look at this. Yeah. Nonetheless, they talk about love, right? Because the basket was designed to get them to start having some conversations about love and get to a level of vulnerability with one another. Justin said he thought he was in love once, but he realized he wasn't. He said he lost his virginity at 20 years old, and Alexis called him a late bloomer. Unnecessary. Whenever anybody chooses to lose their virginity, is completely their path, their choice. There is nothing wrong with being in your 20s. There's nothing wrong with the people that are waiting to be married and are in their 30s. If that is how you choose to walk your path in life, couldn't be me. But if that's how you choose to do it, that's fine. There should absolutely be no judgment. Calling him a late bloomer is completely and utterly, unnecessary. But this is what Alexis does. So he said that he was trying to wait for marriage. He said that he's always been a people pleaser and a yes man. And because of that, his ex began to dog him because he allowed her to, because he wanted to make her happy. So Justin felt like even receiving love from different family members was very one-sided to him. He talks about trying to please his dad and his dad's side of the family because it never felt like they just gave him that unconditional love that your family is supposed to give you. So Alexis asks about the concept of falling out of love, and she asks Justin if he believes in that. Justin said that he does believe in falling out of love. Alexis says she doesn't. She said, because if I'm rocking and rolling with you and I'm at the point to where I love you and I'm doing all this stuff for you, I'm not going to I can't just turn off those emotions. I can't. That's not how I'm conditioned. So Justin, because people like asking questions they aren't prepared for, Justin asked her, it was something like, are you able to tell me how much she loves me, or how much you love me, or are you there with me yet? And she said she's uncomfortable. And I said, girl, of course you are. Why wouldn't you be? Why wouldn't you be? This man told you he loved you the second day, and then when you got home, his dog tried to eat your dog. And yes, I'm making a joke about it. I understand how serious it was. I don't need y'all up in the comments heckling me because I made it funny, all right? But of course you're uncomfortable. Y'all have been on such a roller coaster since y'all got back. Y'all been on a roller coaster since the marriage started. So she says she felt very alone in the candy store with how he was talking to her. And she wants to get back that sense of security that she had on the honeymoon. So they re-show the clip of this situation in the candy store when Alexis was trying to have an adult conversation with open and honest communication with Justin, and he basically turned it into, well, I'm gonna shut down and I'm gonna say some foul shit back to and I'm gonna accuse you of wanting drama. Um, Justin always looks like he's on the brink of tears, always and forever. So he looks like he's getting ready to cry when really he just needed to. I don't even know. I don't know. Justin has to learn emotional maturity. He has to learn how to keep his feelings at bay, his emotions at bay, not hide them, not conceal them, not tuck them away, not bury them for other people, but keep them at bay. Because the fact that anytime somebody says something to Justin that he may or may not really like, he's always on the brink of tears. And like I've said before, or like I said last week, Justin weaponizes his tears, whether y'all want to admit it or not. He weaponizes his tears. It seems like whenever Alexis and him are getting into it, or he feels and he knows that he did something wrong, instead of him being an adult about it, admitting what the issue is, admitting his fault in it, acknowledging his own blame, Justin likes to start crying, so then it deflects from the real problem. And for those of you that were in the comments saying that I don't say anything bad about Alexis, I'm going to need y'all to start watching the entire video. Because in that video, in the situation with the dogs, I said numerous times that they both were wrong in that scenario. Alexis was wrong for letting her dog roam freely, and I said that Justin was wrong for keeping his dog on a leash and not paying attention when Maya initially snapped and was growling at Newton. Everybody was wrong in that scenario. I have said that. I said that. So if you're not using both of your ears, okay, both of them, let's find the other. If you're not using both of your ears to listen to the commentary, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Some of y'all been real spicy in the comment section. And then when I get spicy back, then it turns into it. Don't ask us to comment. Don't come at me the wrong way. We can have discussions about the video respectfully in the comments without people being disrespectful. I'm going to start blocking people again. And I don't want to do that because everybody is free to voice their opinion. But don't tell me I'm stupid. Don't tell me my opinion is wrong. Don't ask me if I'm watching the same episode. Because I could really ask some of y'all, are y'all watching the same episode? Because some of the stuff that y'all say don't make sense in the comments. Okay? All right, so we get to the picnic at the beach. And Alexis is asking Justin, how does he see himself as a husband? Even before this, before the show, before coming on here, what did he envision himself, or how did he envision himself as a husband? And Justin said, as a great listener, and being supportive. And she was like, that's it. And I was like, why can't Alexis ever, like, some of the stuff that she says comes across very rude. And while I don't think that she tries to be rude, I think that she's just a very, I don't want to say crass. I think she's just a person that just is going to say what's on her mind. Sometimes the stuff that she says, we got to do a better job at. We got to at least try sometimes to be a little more sympathetic to Justin. And Alexis is not doing that. And it's very unfortunate. Nonetheless, she then asks him, what's the difference between a partner that you're dating and a marriage? And Justin says that Justin said that there are consequences to leaving a marriage. If you're just dating somebody, you can break it off with, and be done with it. When you're married and there's paperwork signed and, you sign the marriage contract and a license and all this other stuff, there's more invested in it. So she then asks him, if we weren't married, would he still want to date her after everything that has happened? And he said yes. So he then asks her what makes her want to stay committed. She said if they were not married, they would not still be dating. And Justin looks disheveled, but it's like, again, don't ask questions you really don't want the answers to. She said that the Newton situation got to her. She also said that she takes people at face value. So what he is currently showing her, what he has shown her, would make her want to run because she is she's going off of what he's actually showing her, not what he thinks that she should, not what she's anticipating that he could be, but basically like, this is what you're showing me, so this is what it is. She's telling him that she's forcing herself to put in effort because they are married. And she doesn't want him to try to empathize with it. She doesn't want him to try to sympathize with her. She just wants him to understand. She said, we're very different. He's a person that he's going to stick it out. And he's going to try to work through whatever issues they have. She said that she's not a person that's going to do that. She's a runner. Like, she prides herself on being a track star. It's nothing to be proud of, sweetheart. It's nothing to be proud of. It means that you don't know how to handle conflict in a mature way, and you don't have the emotional intelligence or maturity to work through a relationship as well. That's what they're saying, Alexis, but I digress. She said she doesn't want the empathy, just from him to understand that that is her truth and to acknowledge that. And he looks again like he's on the brink of tears, okay? But he understands. So they get to the group setting. All the guys have on the same shirt. It's a confetti, if you guys watch Housewives. Confetti. So they have the guest expert there. I think she said her name was Pia. So she is there. She's a sex and relationship therapist. And she's kind of going around talking to each of the couples, asking kind of about how the marriage is going, their issues, whatever the case. So they start off by talking about what it feels like to be hurt. Justin said that when he's hurt, and when he's in a state of being hurt, that his body like shifts and protects him from being hurt. He said he starts to develop a tough skin. He said, but he is a person that does not bring past trauma into a relationship. He kind of moves on from that trauma. And Alexis was like, just because you don't acknowledge it doesn't mean it's not there. Justin said that does not stop him from being vulnerable and hurt. Justin starts doing a lot of talking in a circle and contradicting himself. Because he'll say, it doesn't mean that I'm hurting it, but then, I got tough skin to protect myself. So Alexis said that she doesn't buy that that it doesn't stop him from being vulnerable and hurt. So Justin said, well, that's because you don't know me, okay? So Alexis said, she said, but we just talked about this. And earlier you said that when you are hurt, that you will just say anything kind of as like a reaction. So Justin said it's frustrating to not be understood. And he's constantly being misunderstood. He doesn't want to keep repeating himself if it's not making sense. He then went on to further say that he's not good at explaining himself. Then he said he shuts down. And I didn't catch, did he say because he was trying to explain it like a third grader or to a third grader? So Alexis says she needs him to understand so that she can help. What did she say? And she needs him to help her, to help him, to help us. Okay? And the therapist tells him that you have to keep talking until you are understood. Right? And that a balance needs to... Oh, I'm sorry. That's somebody else. But that you have to keep talking until you're understood. Now, I do want to clear something up. So, last week, I made a statement that... where Justin said that sometimes he has to stop and pause and think before he says things. And I said, that I don't believe that to be true. So I think I said that out of context, right? I look at it at myself. I'm a person that I'm very witty. I'm very quick with it. So if I take too much time when I'm in an argument or like a conversation that's fast paced and going back and forth like that, if I take too much time, I lose it, right? Case in point, I had a falling out with like a really, really good friend, right? We didn't talk for over a year, well over a year. We went out for drinks like think it was like a month ago, give or take about a month ago. And we kind of like hashed out the issues, the situation that happened. I had to keep talking, right? She would interject and she would say different things. I couldn't do that. I had to keep talking because if I stop and pause and think, I'm a person, I'll get derailed. And it's because my mind moves so fast. Like, even if I'm like, I just started a new job, new position at work, and sitting in training, I'm like ahead of it because my mind is processing things quicker. So I didn't mean it to say that as an adult, you shouldn't be able to, or you should be able to have a conversation without thinking, without your words. So I think it got taken out of context. All right. So I do want to apologize for that. I just mean that in Justin's case, you can tell when Justin is trying to get himself out of a lie. Or out of, you can tell when Justin is trying to think of a lie to get himself out of a situation. Because when Justin is talking to Alexis and they're just kind of going back and forth with the way that he was able to answer these questions rapid fire about like his family and wanting love and being a people pleaser, he was able to quickly articulate himself with that. It seems in the situations where Justin is being challenged by Alexis because of something that he said or a situation that happened, that's when he all of a sudden now needs to process himself. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. But nonetheless, let me know what you guys thought about Alexis and Justin, and I will catch you guys in the next one.